Drew Brees excelled on screen passes more than any other NFL quarterback last season. Bill Figap: simply playing the quarterback position at an elite level doesn't mean one dominates all facets of quarterback play. Each quarterback has his own specific strengths and weaknesses that show up over the course of time. The good news is, we tracked the location and quality of every throw made in the NFL a season ago. With that data, we can identify where each quarterback in the league wins. Let's see who was actually the elite of the elite, throwing to every single level of the defense a season ago. Screens behind the line of scrimmage. Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints. At this level of the defense, statistics such as yards per attempt and touchdowns are almost entirely dependent on the player catching the ball and not so much the one throwing it. So here, looks solely at accuracy, and it's no surprise that Drew Brees comes out on top. Last season, he completed 67 of his 70 attempts behind the line of scrimmage, with 2 of those attempts being dropped. That's a league-leading adjusted completion percentage of 98.6 compared to the NFL average of 93.8. The man rarely misses his mark. Underneath 8 yards, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers. We can argue cutoffs, but anything 9 or more yards usually gets the first down. Sticks involved and is traditional underneath zone coverage dropping depth, so I went with 8. In this category, Rodgers was not the most accurate. His 84.8 adjusted completion percentage was nearly 3 percentage points behind leader Ryan Tannehill of Miami. What set Rodgers apart, though, was the fact he threw 17 touchdown passes underneath compared with 0 interceptions. Both figures led the NFL. Russell Wilson, Tyrod Taylor and Derek Carr were the only other quarterbacks not to throw a pick in this range, and none put up even double-digit touchdown passes underneath. If you need a quarterback to thread the needle near the goal line for a score, Rodgers is your man. Intermediate 918 yards. Tom Brady, New England Patriots. This is the area of the field that separates the elite from the average. An NFL quarterback has to be able to effectively navigate behind underneath zone defenders and hit moving targets accurately in the intermediate range. And in this area of the field, no one is even close to Tom Brady. He averaged 12.3 yards per attempt and had a passer rating of 144.1 on these throws. Both were far and away the tops in the NFL. The next closest passer rating was Sam Bradford at 113.5, and the league average is only 88.8. He doesn't play in an offense that lives and dies by the intermediate throws. Brady's 87 total attempts in this range were less than half that of Jameis Winston or Carson Palmer. But when defenses cheat up on the short passing game, he has the ability to shred them. Deep 1,939 yards. Matt Ryan, Atlanta Falcons. This one was the least clear-cut of any of the ranges. It's also difficult to discern quarterback talent from receiving talent and scheme. A busted coverage going for an 80-yard touchdown will look a lot better on a quarterback stat sheet than a perfectly placed go route that gets broken up because the receiver couldn't separate. In terms of passer rating, Brady had the high water mark at 165.6. For adjusted completion percentage, Andrew Luck was the league leader at 52.7%. And for total yardage, Drew Brees 1,230 was more than 100 yards clear of the next best quarterback. Ryan gets the nod, though, because even though he didn't lead any of those categories, he was second in passer rating 165.5, second in adjusted completion percentage 51.6, fifth in yards 970, second in touchdowns 11 and didn't throw an interception in this range. Bombs 40 yards. Ryan Tannehill, Miami Dolphins. There were 318 bombs thrown a season ago, with Cam Newton and Ben Roethlisberger pacing the NFL with 18 apiece. When it came to precision, though, no one threaded needles better than Ryan Tannehill. He was 4 for 7 on such passes with a drop, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. He was also one of 2 quarterbacks last season. Newton was the other to earn the highest grade give to an individual throw. Tannehill's dime under pressure with 259 remaining in the second quarter against the Chargers in Week 10 of last year remains one of the prettiest throws I've ever seen. Mike Renner is a writer for Pro Football Focus and a contributor to the Washington Post's NFL coverage. Read more. Scott McLaughlin predicts Josh Doctson will lead the Redskins in receiving, if HES healthy. Seahawks QB Russell Wilson and his optimistic, dairyless pursuit of a 25-year career. Matthew Stafford just set the NFL's contract record. It won't last long. The Los Angeles Chargers are going to be the NFL's breakout team in the AFC.